Hey parents, thank you so much for coming to Curriculum Night. I am Christina Holsey, your child's teacher, and I cannot wait to get to know your child in October and to meet all of you guys the week of October 21st for parent-teacher conferences. So a little bit about me. I just graduated last month from Kennesaw State University with my master's and my leadership endorsement. I have taught I already know four of you guys because I taught your children. And the rest of you guys, I'm so excited to finally get to know you guys. I also was 1 in 5 kindergarten teachers selected across the county to pick out the curriculum for this school year for your child. So this year, your child, we are piloting together the reading and writing units of study in semester 1 by Lucy Calkins. And then in the second semester, we're gonna pilot the Fontes and Pinnell curriculum. Let's see. I am the school's dojo mentor. I love Class Dojo. I use it all the time. My first year here at Harmony back in 2015, I used Dojo pretty much every single week. Class Dojo appointed me as mentor, and I also work very closely with the Class Dojo team and marketing team, and I give them updates and ideas, and sometimes I pilot things for them so they can make Class Dojo better. If you've not already signed up for Class Dojo, please do so because I'm gonna send pictures, I'm gonna send videos. I use it all the time. I think communication is key. And truly, 4 of you can attest to this. I believe in a partnership of you and I working together to advocate for your child. I really mean that. I think a teacher and a parent should work together to advocate for the child, for their academic, emotional, and social success. Let's see. Oh, and this year I was 1 in 4 kindergarten teachers across the county to be selected for the literacy leadership team. I'm super excited about that. I love literacy, and I begin the year with instilling a love of reading for kids. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. My son Jackson is in 2nd grade here at Harmony Elementary School. And this is Spencer. He just had 3 shots, not feeling well, and doesn't want to be set down. Okay, I'm gonna start with reading. We always wanna end the year on an independent level D or E, and that's considered satisfactory. In order to get excellent or get an E, they need to be reading at an independent level F or higher. So I'll touch base on that again in a minute. Really, just reading every night is really important for your child to get that. They read in the classroom every single day. They get read to numerous times throughout the day as well. And their reading is assessed from this Fontes and Pinnell kit is how we assess reading. And when we assess reading, we look for fluency, how well they're reading, if it's choppy or not choppy, how they respond to comprehension questions, and if they really understand what's going on. Writing at the beginning of the year, we're really working on letter formation using those verbal pathways. I made that for the team. I love the verbal pathways, and here's why. It starts with the letter C, and it goes around like a C. And then it goes to the letter O, around like a C, close. Then it goes to A, around like a C, close down. Then it goes to letter D, around like a C, close up, down. Then it goes to letter G, around like a C, down, hook, left. And so it goes, each letter builds upon one another. So it's easier for kids to learn that. And for math, we're working on recognizing numbers, counting. If your child can already count and recognize numbers, go ahead, and in the car every now and then, go ahead and start pushing what we're gonna do later in the year, you know? Hey, what do you think 2 + 1 is if I have 2 cookies and I add 1? That way you're slowly introducing, but not overwhelming. Let's talk about homework. I'm not really a huge fan of homework. I do believe in reading every single night is key, every night. And I believe the parent should read to the child too. It shouldn't just be this child reading to the parent. I want the parent to also read to the child. So you can say things like, hey, point to the period, point to the quotation marks, point to the exclamation mark, point to the comma. And you can also ask them questions like, what do you think is going to come next? But Jackson always reads to me and then I read to him afterward because I want him to hear what a good reader sounds like. So I think that's very important. Don't just have your child read to you because they also want to hear their mommy or daddy or one of their relatives or guardians read to them. So 2 of you participated in this last year. I did an action research project with my students last year, and all of my parents signed a consent form with Kennesaw State University allowing me to test children. And what I've always believed since I began kindergarten 4 years ago is that sight words have a direct correlation with reading levels. I've always believed that, and last year I proved that. So I want to go ahead and share with you my findings. 0 to 12 sight words is typically a pre-A, meaning they're not an independent level A yet. 13 to 25 sight words is about in level A. 75 sight words is about a level C. 100 sight words is about an independent D, and 150 sight words is about an independent E. We want them to get to independent F, which is why I made all those sight word color cards for the whole team. So if you hit the ground running with sight words and reading, your child's going to be doing great. I just talked about letter formation. It's really hard to undo, so that's why we refer to the verbal pathways because they build on one another. And I also teach pencil grip at the very beginning of the school year. And then I talked about reading. Both of you should read to each other, not just your child reading to you. Okay, so for homework at the beginning of the year, I like to use the 4 5s. 5 minutes of sight words, 5 minutes of your child reading to you, 5 minutes of you reading to them, and 5 minutes of doing letter formation in your child's folder, which I think y'all are getting tonight or very soon. You'll see that letter formation page. Again, if your child has already mastered their letters and letter formation, move on to something else during those 5 minutes. They don't need to do that. But please don't ever substitute reading. I love teaching kindergarten. This might seem like a lot of information, but I really do love my job. I can't wait to be back in the classroom in October, but I'm also enjoying this time right now. Please communicate with me. I do believe that it takes a parent and teacher to work together. I take ownership in my job. I take pride in my job. And I really do want every child to succeed. Every single child. And not just succeed, but exceed. So that way when they go to 1st grade, they're not going to struggle. The reason teaching kindergarten is my favorite is because 80% of the brain is developed by age 5. Meaning this is the school year from their kindergarten to their 12th grade year. This is the year that their brain is going to grow the most. That is why, especially at the beginning of the school year, we hit the ground running with sight words and reading. I also set the bar high, meaning like a lot of students that are in 1st grade now are doing well. And those students that I taught 2 years ago, they're doing very well in 2nd. And those students that I taught 3 years ago, they're doing very, very well in 3rd. Please communicate if you ever have any concerns about your child, whether it's social, emotional, or academic. I am here for you to be honest with you and for you to be honest with me as well. Again, I'm so excited to get to know you guys, and I hope the homework isn't really that overwhelming. I feel like it's not. I think just 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this, of the you reading to them, then reading to you, the handwriting and the sight words is going to go a long, long, long way, especially at the beginning of the school year. And I'll see you guys in October. Make sure you sign up for parent-teacher conferences that I will be at the week of October 21st. Have a great night.